Greetings and great day, beautiful people. Dr. Dominique Reese here, and I wanted to come on to share some personal information because I've realized that we're in a season right now where people are hurting financially. And then you have some people who are doing really well financially. And the common thread between both groups of people is that they both need professional financial support and guidance. And in this marketplace where everyone's a coach, right, of some sort, it can be difficult for the consumer to understand who's a good fit for them. And so I wanted to come on and just share a little bit about why I even do the work I do and why it's so personal for me. So I'll take it back to my high school days. I grew up in I say lower middle class family. I was raised by my grandparents. However, my mom has always been in my life. My father passed away when I was 2. So again, having my grandparents come in and scoop me up as one of their own was such a blessing. And having their guidance and the support from them throughout the years made the difference for me. But growing up, I was a great kid and I didn't complain about a lot. I was focused on school. I was a straight A student, all of that good stuff. And I had my own room where I had my own phone. And so that was my first bill ever, my own phone, and I was responsible for paying it. And so that was like my first introduction to bill paying and having an allowance to earn the money to pay it. Um, so I like to share that because that's one of my first like money moments, right? But where things started to change and shift, I would say, was right around the time my grandfather retired. And when he retired without a vehicle, without a car that was working. And it just set in my spirit that that's not how this is supposed to go, right? Like you work hard all these years, but then you don't have a car to retire into. And it was kind of like his style as well. So I don't really understand all of those dynamics, which yet again, a lot of my clients share that same feeling where our parents don't talk to us about money, right? I was never taught about money. No one sat me down and said, this is a budget, this is savings, this is how you put money in a bank account. I never got that. So to show up today in the way that I show up for other people, educating about the basics for me is purposeful because I know I didn't have that. Even though I am a financial professional that has worked with millionaires, right? I was never taught about money, the basics about money, never taught. And what I learned on my own, literally. I learned on my own. I learned from my own personal experiences, and I learned from what I saw other people in my family doing. So that was some motivation for me, just at least subconsciously to say, I don't think that's how this is supposed to go. We're not supposed to work all this time and then not have anything to show for it, right? So fast forward, I get to college. I attended Princeton University. Thank you, Father. I had tons of support from my family, my grandparents, and friends, and counselors, and just some really key people who played a role in getting me to Princeton. But once I got there, it was a whole nother ball game. I was not prepared academically for Princeton. I went from Crenshaw High, yeah, go Cougars, to Princeton University. And that was a very big leap for me. Nevertheless, I get there and now I'm a consumer because I'm taking out student loans, right? And now I have debt, 5-figure debt, low 5-figure debt, but nevertheless, 5-figure debt. And so here we are yet again, where no one is educating me, no one is telling me what I should do or shouldn't do. Graduate, get that first job, get that first apartment. I'll never forget it. I moved to Harlem, 139th and Lenox. Lived in a high rise. I think I was on the 16th floor or something like that. And I had moved into this apartment And even at this point in my career, where I was working at a financial firm, I was at Merrill Lynch. I started in marketing and then I became a financial advisor. And right when I became a financial advisor, helping others, right, helping millionaires with their millions, I'm moving into this new apartment, yet I was living paycheck to paycheck. And how can that happen, right? How can you be a financial professional and you live paycheck to paycheck? Here's how. No one taught me about money. And so I want to keep saying that to you. No one taught me about money. So it didn't matter who I was, the title I had. Dominique, the person, the girl from South Central Los Angeles, no one taught her about money, right? So now we have Dominique Reese, the girl from South Central Los Angeles, working at Merrill Lynch after having graduated from Princeton University, and still no one has taught her about money. So when it comes to getting this apartment and budgeting, no one taught me. And it was rocky. It was rocky. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm spending more than I'm making. I've got credit card debt. All of that right after college, great job, new apartment, and now that, right? No different than the exact clients I'm working with today. Professional women, killing it in the game, taking care of themselves, first to do it in their families, right? First to graduate from college, first to get a great job, first to move out of the state, first to start a business. And here we are. No one has taught us about money. So we're successful in one area and then not successful in the other, right? Or in several areas. So I share that because you need to know where I've been. You need to know I'm no different than you are when it comes to learning about money, managing money properly, growing my money. So after all of that, I got to a space where I realized, one, this ain't a good look, broke ain't cute. And then two or three, I'm in a role that I want to be proud of, that I can say, well, if you ask me about my personal, I could tell you what I'm doing, right? I can tell you the strategies that are working. But again, as a financial advisor, you're not working with people on their budget. You're not working with people on their savings strategy. You're not working with people on their debt strategy. That's not happening as a financial advisor. That was not the work I was doing. I was helping people take hundreds of thousands of dollars and put it into a product that's going to help them make more thousands. For the most part, there's no budgeting, savings, or debt involved in any of that by the time it reaches me. So who was doing that work? Who was helping people with the basics about budgeting and how to create a budget that you'll stick to, and savings and the different types of savings that you should be saving for, and debt and the best way to reduce debt quickly, comfortably, and affordably? At that time, no one person in particular, no one company in particular. And if you needed that support, you would have to get it from a nonprofit if you were like in a dire situation with your credit or your debt, or you'd go work with the financial professional like an advisor or a planner if you had assets. But if you didn't have any assets, who worked with you? Who helped you with your budget, your savings, your debt, your mindset, your credit, your income, your protection, drafting a financial action plan? Who helped you with those things? No one. Then comes along the financial coach, right? And so that's where I come in. I had been through things financially. I've hit rock bottom, literally financial rock bottom, social rock bottom, every rock bottom you can think of. Right after I had my son, I hit rock bottom. My son's father and I weren't dating anymore. Everything I thought was not happening. So I'm like, this is not the life I designed. This isn't the life I imagined for myself. And I had to start over. Financially, I had to start over. And what came out of that? The Financial Reset Challenge, which is one of my most popular programs. The 20-day financial reset challenge helped me get back on track. After I hit financial rock bottom, I had to go deep. I had to go deep in my faith. I had to go deep in my dollars. I had to go review my financial behavior. I had to take time to go deep. And every day for 20 days, 30 minutes a day, I would pray, read my Bible, come to some kind of way, it came to me, the topic of the financial area that I needed to review. And then I would do that work. And then the next day, the same thing, a new topic, some questions I would ask myself. I would go into my history, my money story, answer those questions. Third day, same thing. So every day I was diving deep into my financial history. How did I get here? How did I hit rock bottom? Who was on my team? Who wasn't on my team? What behaviors was I doing? What behaviors weren't I doing? And that's when it clicked. It doesn't matter what you know about money. Money is behavioral, and you must do things with it. You must do things to have and keep and grow your money. No one was teaching me that. No one taught me that. No one told me that I should be budgeting. I mean, you might hear it, you might see it on a movie or something, right? Or hear somebody who you don't really know talk about it. But in terms of people you know doing it, no. I never saw anyone in my family budget, ever. I didn't have any friends who were budgeting. So how can I know to do something if I don't know to do it? We don't know what we don't know. And we punish ourselves, especially when we screw up financially, we punish ourselves so much, but we don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. And I'm learning what the solutions are. I have learned the strategies. I've been teaching them and helping people one-on-one figure this stuff out, because you think, oh, they're basics, I should know this. You should know it, but you don't. So when you don't, what do? You learn. So let this be your invitation to come and learn the basics about your money, things that no one ever taught you, but you should have learned, right? That's it. No one ever taught me, and I should have learned. So what do? You just jump into learning. You pick up from where you left off, which is, okay, now that I have the awareness that I wasn't taught these things, let me go back and get the basics. Let me get my foundation solid so I can continue to build assets on top of that and then grow the assets that I'm building. Because if not, that foundation is not solid. And every time you build up, it's going to fall. It's going to crack. It's going to have some kind of splinter or faction in it that's going to continue to separate. And every time something happens financially, your foundation is going to be jeopardized. Then you have to start all over again. And that's what we want to not have to do. We don't want to have to keep starting over every time we get something new and good going on. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to wait for that to happen, and then I'm going to start over. No, it's too late by then. Your behaviors are what we have to change in order for your numbers to change. And that's what I realized. Even though I'm a financial professional, I'm working on Wall Street, I'm making $90,000 as a 20-something-year-old, no one taught me to budget. So what I did was I went out to eat for lunch and dinner. I went shopping. I would come home, shower, dinner, relax, go to bed, wake up, do it all over again. Buy breakfast, buy a pretzel, go to Macy's, hang out with my girls for the weekend, go to this day party in the summer, go shopping for some new shoes and an outfit, fly home back to LA, send money home back to LA, get back from LA, get to work. Oh, payday this Friday. Okay, do it all over again. Rent is due. Oh no, there's not enough. There's not enough. What happened? There's not enough. What happened? Then you start sending the letters. Okay, I need an extension, right? Hit up your landlord. Okay, can I move my due date, or can I have an extension? Okay, so we're good, right? We're good because we got extensions, everything's okay. When that check come, we gonna pay that. Cool. And that's exactly what happened. That's what I did. But now what? I'm right back in. I'm right back in the same cycle. So it wasn't until my financial rock bottoms, which I had 2, maybe even 3, where I learned I've got to sit and look at my numbers. I've literally got to write things down. I've got to think ahead. I've got to plan for when the next check comes, what's going to happen with that check. I need to look at my savings and probably set some goals, because it's not enough to just send money there whenever I have it left over. I need to be like, I need $1,000 in this account and I need it in the next 30 days. I had to start doing things with my money, budgeting, writing things down, reviewing my bank statements, looking at my credit card statements, looking at my savings account, opening new savings accounts, closing other accounts. I had to do an overhaul of my financial life to be like, wait a second. I didn't know I was spending that much. How would you if you've never sat down with your numbers? Okay, I know my bills are being paid, but I didn't realize I was spending so much on that. That could have been in my savings account. Right. But if you're not sitting down with your numbers, you won't know that. And so in today's time, my beautiful people, we can no longer do that. We can no longer just go, swipe, 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 and not create time for our numbers. Those numbers are precious. We work so hard for them. And then when we look up and we're like, there's not enough, we're boggled. We shouldn't be. We are in control of this. We are the masters of the dollar, not the other way around. The dollar isn't the master of us. So what are we doing or not doing, right? And the minute I started budgeting every 2 weeks, but for me in the beginning, I had to budget daily. So I went from daily to weekly to bi-weekly, and I've been there ever since. Monthly budgeting is still too much for me. I need to hone in on my numbers, right? And the more money I make, I like to stay at my every other week budgeting because it keeps me in the know. And then I can see the extra money coming in to tell it where to go. But if I budget it monthly right now, I still don't think I would have the grip on my finances the way I want. It's a journey. And even as a financial professional over 20 years, I'm still learning. I'm building wealth. I don't have anyone building wealth for me or telling me how to do it, right? So I'm doing it as I go along. I'm learning, and everything I learn, I come back and teach you. And so that's really the message here. I want you to see yourself in my story. I am the owner of Reese Financial Services. I am the chief financial coach and consultant. And guess what? I'm human. And I don't know everything about money. I know what I know really well, though. I know how to help people create solid foundations because I didn't have one at one point. I know how to help people build budgets that they'll stick to because money's behavioral. So we have to look at the numbers a little differently and see the story that the numbers are telling. Once we see the story that the numbers are telling, the rest is history, right? I can go from there. I can build from what I know. But how can I build if I don't know? If I don't know where I've been, if I don't know what I've done, if I don't know where my money has gone, how can I now tell it where to go in an organized way, right? With systems in place. So that is what I want to share with you today. I just want you to see yourself in my story. I just want you to understand I didn't come from things that make me great right now. I came from things I didn't have that make me great right now, right? I wasn't born with the family who came from money, and I wasn't born into a family that practiced financial planning. So you are probably the first person in your family to do so. Don't take that responsibility lightly. But once you're ready to own it, and once you're really ready to be like, enough is enough, enough is enough. I'm ready to be abundant. I'm ready to have money building in my account every time I get paid. I'm ready to not have to live paycheck to paycheck. I'm ready to be debt free. I'm ready to position myself to buy that home or to start that business or get that rental income property. I'm ready for the new car I've been eyeing for weeks and months. When you are ready, I'm here. We're here. Reese Financial Services is here. But it's important that you hear the message. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what you were or weren't taught. We are now in a position to know what we need to know. And I'm here to support you. So thank you for hearing a little bit about my story. And if you are ready, go ahead and reply to this email with ready. And I have something very special for you. All right, peace.